You've been lied to. You've been told that your mind is something you're stuck with, that negative thoughts are just part of life. But the truth? Your mind is programmable. It can be rebuilt, rewired, and reshaped. And the Stoics, they figured it out centuries ago. They didn't live easy lives. They lived through war, exile, betrayal, and death. But they learned to rule their minds, even when the world around them burned. If you want to kill your negative thinking and rebuild a mind of steel, start here. These 7 ruthless Stoic laws aren't for the faint of heart. But if you can endure them, you'll never be the same again. The first law: you are not your thoughts. Most people spend their lives reacting to every emotion, every passing worry, every fear. But the Stoics taught, your thoughts are clouds, not the sky. They come and go. You are the sky. You are the stillness behind the noise. When anger rises, observe it. When fear shows up, don't panic, study it. This level of detachment isn't easy. But once you stop identifying with the storm, you begin to master it. Most people never get this far. They drown in their mind's noise. You're here to rise above it. Second, pain is feedback, not punishment. Negative thinkers collapse at the first sign of pain. But the Stoic? He leans in. Why? Because pain is a teacher. It exposes weakness. It reveals attachments. Every setback, every heartbreak, every failure, it's data. Information. The more you resist it, the more it owns you. But when you embrace it, you strip it of its power. When something hurts, don't ask, why me? Ask, what's this trying to show me? That shift alone will turn your mind into a weapon. Third, you don't control outcomes, only effort. The Stoics hammered this truth every day. You can plan. You can prepare. But the results? They're out of your hands. So why waste energy on what you can't control? Focus everything, your mind, your energy, your discipline, on what you can control, your actions. When you obsess over outcomes, you create anxiety. But when you pour yourself into effort, you create peace. That's real power. That's freedom. Fourth, stop arguing with reality. How much of your stress comes from wishing things were different? You didn't get the job. She left. He betrayed you. It happened. Wishing it hadn't is a waste of life. The Stoic doesn't argue with reality. He adapts. He says, this is what is. Now, what will I do about it? Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means power. You reclaim control when you stop resisting the facts and start responding with purpose. Fifth, choose reason over reaction. Negative thinking is emotional thinking, impulsive, frantic, chaotic. The Stoic mindset is grounded in reason. When someone insults you, you don't lash out. You pause. You reflect. You ask, does this person's opinion define me? No. Then why should I care? This level of restraint builds unshakable confidence. You stop living at the mercy of others. You stop being a puppet. You become the master of your responses, and with that comes real authority over your life. Sixth, memento mori. Remember, you will die. This isn't morbid. It's clarifying. When you remember that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on trivial things, on negative loops, regrets, petty drama. The Stoic uses death not as a fear, but as a filter. Is this worth my time? Is this worth my energy? Most things aren't. And when you start filtering life like that, your mind becomes lean, sharp, focused. You gain mental clarity, and you shed everything that weighs you down. Seventh, discipline is the gatekeeper of freedom. People think freedom means doing whatever you want. That's not freedom. That's slavery to your impulses. Real freedom is doing what's right, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up every day, no matter the mood. It's telling your mind, I run this, not you. That kind of discipline doesn't just build habits. It builds identity. And once you identify as a disciplined person, negative thinking loses its grip. You don't entertain it, because it no longer fits who you are. These 7 rules aren't easy. That's the point. The weak mind seeks comfort. The stoic mind seeks truth. And the truth is, your thoughts do not own you. You don't have to stay trapped in anxiety, fear, or doubt. But no one's coming to save you. The world isn't going to hand you peace. You'll have to fight for it. Daily. Ruthlessly. Because most won't. Most people will keep scrolling, keep numbing, keep hiding behind distractions. They'll wake up tomorrow with the same negative thoughts, the same internal battles, hoping the outside world will somehow fix their inner chaos. But you're not here for that. You're here because a part of you knows, this war is internal. And it's time to take control. This isn't about pretending everything is fine. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about facing them head-on. Looking your darkest thoughts in the eye and refusing to flinch. It's about transforming suffering into fuel, anger into discipline, pain into wisdom. When you live by these laws, your environment no longer dictates your peace. People can betray you. Life can knock you down. Chaos can surround you, but your mind stays anchored. Clear. Ruthless. That's stoic strength. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's silent and unshakable. And once that strength is built, no one can take it from you. Not failure. Not heartbreak. Not fear. Because the person you become on the other side of this discipline, the one forged in silence, hardship, and restraint, is unbreakable. So how do you begin? Not by waiting. Not by seeking the perfect moment. You begin by choosing. Choosing not to indulge the next negative thought. Choosing to pause instead of react. Choosing to rewrite your narrative one decision at a time. You begin by acting like the person you want to become, even before you feel like them. Do it when you're tired. Do it when you're angry. Do it when your mind screams for comfort. Because that's when it counts. That's when transformation happens. Not when it's easy, but when it's hardest. You've already taken the first step, awareness. Most people never get here. But now, the choice is in front of you. Let your old thinking run the show, or replace it with something bulletproof. Something ancient. Something proven. The Stoics didn't just survive suffering, they weaponized it. So take these 7 rules. Burn them into your memory. Live them. Because the battlefield is your mind. And the victory? That's a new version of you. And that version of you, it's not some distant dream. It's a decision away. Every time you resist the pull of negativity, every time you face discomfort instead of fleeing, every time you silence the chaos and choose clarity, you're stepping into that version. You don't need more motivation. You need a mindset that doesn't waver when motivation fades. The Stoics understood this. That's why they trained daily, not just physically, but mentally. They visualized worst-case scenarios, not to live in fear, but to prepare themselves so thoroughly that no outcome could shake them. That's where your power lies, not in controlling the world, but in controlling your response to it. And here's the brutal truth most won't tell you. Negative thinking isn't just a bad habit. It's a poison. It seeps into everything. Your confidence, your relationships, your ambition. And the only antidote is conscious, disciplined thought. That's what these rules are for. They aren't philosophies to admire, they're weapons to use. Every day. In silence. Without applause. Because greatness is built in the dark, not on a stage. It's built when you get up after a sleepless night. When you show up when no one's watching. When you endure the pain without complaining, and keep moving forward with purpose. That's Stoic strength. And it's inside you right now, waiting to be unleashed. But you have to decide. You can keep feeding the old story, the one where you're stuck, where your thoughts own you, where you blame the world for your suffering. Or you can write a new one. One where pain refines you. One where discipline shapes you. One where your mind becomes the strongest thing about you. It won't be easy. It's not supposed to be. But if you can endure the fire, you won't come out burned, you'll come out forged. And the world? It won't understand the quiet power you carry. That's okay. It's not for them. It's for you. Because once your mind is built on Stoic laws, there's nothing they can take from you. Not your peace. Not your power. Not your purpose. This is your time. Start now. Not tomorrow. Not when life calms down. Now, rewire your mind. Destroy the negativity. And build the version of yourself that fear can't touch. Because that version of you, the one shaped by fire, sharpened by silence, and trained by discipline, is already waiting on the other side of your excuses. The only thing in your way is you. Negative thinking feeds off hesitation. It thrives in delay. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," it tightens its grip. But the Stoic doesn't wait. He acts. Not because he feels ready, but because he refuses to stay the same. That's the mindset you need now. Ruthless. Relentless. Non-negotiable. When your old thoughts come crawling back, telling you you're not enough, that it's too hard, that you'll never change, don't argue. Don't negotiate. Replace them. Replace them with action. Replace them with discipline. Replace them with a calm, steady voice that says, "I don't accept this version of myself anymore." And don't expect applause. The world won't cheer for your inner growth. There's no standing ovation for overcoming anxiety in the dark, or choosing silence over reaction, or getting up when everything in you says stay down. But that's what makes this journey sacred. It's not about proving anything to others. It's about proving it to yourself. Day by day. Battle by battle. Thought by thought. You begin to shift. You begin to lead your mind instead of being led by it. You begin to build an inner fortress that nothing outside of you can shake. That's real power. That's what the Stoics lived for. Not comfort, not praise, not ease. But mastery. Mastery over the only thing you ever truly own, your mind. And now, that responsibility is yours. These 7 Stoic laws aren't just rules. They're a challenge. A call to arms. A blueprint for mental transformation. Will you follow them when it's inconvenient? Will you obey them when no one's looking? Will you keep going when your old self begs you to stop? Because that's the test. And every moment is another chance to pass it. So don't just hear these words. Live them. Etch them into your choices. Into your routines. Into your identity. Be ruthless with your thoughts. Be relentless with your discipline. Be unshakable in your focus. And when the world looks at you and can't explain your peace, your strength, your calm under fire, just smile. Because you'll know. You rebuilt your mind from the inside out. And nothing can break what you've chosen to master. Because that version of you, the one shaped by fire, sharpened by silence, and trained by discipline, is already waiting on the other side of your excuses. The only thing in your way is you. Negative thinking feeds off hesitation. It thrives in delay. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," it tightens its grip. But the Stoic doesn't wait. He acts. Not because he feels ready, but because he refuses to stay the same. That's the mindset you need now. Ruthless. Relentless. Non-negotiable. When your old thoughts come crawling back, telling you you're not enough, that it's too hard, that you'll never change, don't argue. Don't negotiate. Replace them. Replace them with action. Replace them with discipline. Replace them with a calm, steady voice that says, I don't accept this version of myself anymore. And don't expect applause. The world won't cheer for your inner growth. There's no standing ovation for overcoming anxiety in the dark, or choosing silence over reaction, or getting up when everything in you says stay down. But that's what makes this journey sacred. It's not about proving anything to others. It's about proving it to yourself. Day by day, battle by battle, thought by thought, you begin to shift. You begin to lead your mind instead of being led by it. You begin to build an inner fortress that nothing outside of you can shake. That's real power. That's what the Stoics lived for. Not comfort, not praise, not ease. But mastery. Mastery over the only thing you ever truly own, your mind. And now, that responsibility is yours. These 7 Stoic laws aren't just rules. They're a challenge. A call to arms. A blueprint for mental transformation. Will you follow them when it's inconvenient? Will you obey them when no one's looking? Will you keep going when your old self begs you to stop? Because that's the test. And every moment is another chance to pass it. So don't just hear these words. Live them. Etch them into your choices. Into your routines. Into your identity. Be ruthless with your thoughts. Be relentless with your discipline. Be unshakable in your focus. And when the world looks at you and can't explain your peace, your strength, your calm under fire, just smile. Because you'll know. You rebuilt your mind from the inside out. And nothing can break what you've chosen to master. You've walked through the noise. You've silenced the doubt. But the path isn't over. It never really is. Because mental mastery isn't a destination. It's a commitment. A way of life. There will be days when the darkness creeps back in, when the weight feels unbearable, when the world tries to shake your foundation. But you won't fall back. Not anymore. Why? Because now you've built something real. A mind trained in Stoic discipline doesn't crumble under pressure. It thrives in it. You begin to welcome challenges, not because you enjoy suffering, but because you understand what it does for you. You stop fearing pain. You stop avoiding discomfort. You realize these are the very tools that sharpen your edge. They're not your enemies, they're your allies. And when you stumble, and you will, you don't spiral. You don't drown in self-pity or guilt. You reset. You return to the laws. You simplify. You ask, what's in my control? What's the next right move? You act. You move forward. Always forward. People around you will wonder how you stay so calm when things go wrong. How you keep your composure while others lose their grip. But they don't see the hours of work you've put in when no one was watching. The silent decisions. The quiet resistance. The countless moments where you chose to hold the line when your emotions begged you to run. That's what separates the Stoic mind from the average one. It's not louder, it's deeper. It doesn't need validation, it needs vision. It doesn't break under pressure, it's built for it. So when your old self whispers in your ear, trying to drag you back into the pit of fear, regret, and negativity, you won't flinch. You'll stand still. You'll breathe. You'll remember who you are, and who you've chosen to become. This is your edge now. Your armor. Your code. Not built overnight, not handed to you, but earned. Through pain. Through reflection. Through ruthless honesty. And as you move forward, remember, Stoicism isn't about removing emotion. It's about ruling it. It's not about being untouchable. It's about being unshaken. It's not about never falling. It's about always rising. So rise. Quietly. Powerfully. Consistently. Let others chase noise. You build silence. Let others crumble. You build discipline. Let others live reactive lives. You live by principle. This is how you kill negative thinking. This is how you rewire your mind. This is how you become unbreakable. Continue from where you stop. This is your quiet revolution. Not the kind broadcast on stages or shouted from rooftops, but the kind that changes lives in silence. The kind where you wake up each day and choose excellence, even when no one's watching. The kind where you conquer thoughts before they become actions, shape habits before they shape you, and build a life that's grounded in truth. Not in emotion, not in trend, not in fear. People will keep searching for shortcuts, for hacks, for ways to fix a broken life without fixing a broken mindset. But you'll know better. You'll know that real change doesn't come with comfort, it comes with confrontation. The confrontation of the self. The deep, often painful look in the mirror where you realize, I've been the obstacle all along. And yet, that's the best news you'll ever hear. Because if you're the problem, you are also the solution. No more waiting for better circumstances. No more hoping someone else will save you. You are the force. You are the one who decides how this story ends. So when your day feels heavy, when the thoughts creep in, when your mind wants to spiral, return to the laws. Anchor yourself. Ask, what would the stronger version of me do right now? Then do that. Without drama. Without delay. And if you fall off track, don't spiral. Don't quit. Real Stoic power isn't about perfection. It's about returning. As many times as it takes. Return to discipline. Return to clarity. Return to your principles. Again. And again. And again. Until the storm inside you bows to your command. Because the world isn't getting easier. The chaos isn't going away. But you're getting harder to break. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll face something that would have shattered the old you, and instead of collapsing, you'll stand tall. Come. Focused. Still. That's the sign. That's the proof you've won the war inside. And when you've mastered the mind, everything else becomes manageable. Business. Relationships. Goals. Setbacks. They no longer control you. You control your response. You move with power. With grace. With silence. This isn't just Stoicism. This is transformation. One thought at a time. One decision at a time. One day at a time. And it starts now. Always now.